In today's interconnected world, the internet has rapidly become a central part of all daily interactions for billions of people around the world. From social media to online shopping and banking and even education, it has provided us with endless opportunities. However, we use the internet in a very defined way. Let's walk through it. You go home, you walk into a room, you open up your computer, and you go online. Now, imagine as you've done that, 50 strangers walk into that room behind you and sit behind you looking over your shoulder and taking notes. They write down everything you say, click, and type. This is called data collection. So what basically happens here is that they're able to collect everything that you do online. And you really have no control over what's happening. As we continually use the internet more, we're able to understand how the data really affects us. The magnitude of this data is huge. From everything like what patterns you move your mouse, and what specific words or colors you click on, all the way to your search history and passwords, everything is collected. This led one internet expert to claim that Google knows more about me than my wife does. And honestly, it's true. A lot of people like to hide behind this idea of anonymous data collection, but that really doesn't exist because researchers have proven that if you take anonymous data and cross-reference it with data from other data sets, they're able to identify who the initial person was with 99.98% accuracy. This means that no data is anonymous. Everything can be tracked back to you. If you all want to learn more about who I am, a simple Google search of my name will tell you everything about what I do online. If I wanted to uncover the secrets of an audience member here, all I had to do is pay a small fee, acquire a couple data sets, and boom, I understand your entire life story. Now, I don't personally want to do that, but many organizations do. Organizations such as law enforcement, the government, hackers, foreign governments, and of course, thousands of companies around the world acquire vast amounts of data. And they use it against you in many different ways, such as targeted advertising, political manipulation, and identity theft. Each of these poses an individual threat to both the individual and society. So let's go back a little bit and talk about how they're able to collect that data in the first place. So sometimes you just tell them the data yourselves. You create an account, for example, and you provide them with maybe your name, your email, your phone number, your birthday, and of course a password. You buy something online, you provide them your credit card information and your shipping address. That is data collection, and it's essential for creating individualized accounts and completing transactions. But there's another way that companies use to collect their data that collects way more data without you actually giving it to them, and that is cookies. Now, not these kinds of cookies, though, internet cookies. Internet cookies are small text files that are placed on your browser as you interact with the web page. They track everything like who you are and identify you and how you're interacting with that web page. They also last for a very long time, so they compile as you spend time on a site. Now, these cookies aren't inherently bad. They're exactly what allows us to do important things on a web page, such as logging you in, saving information, and adding items to a virtual shopping cart. However, they also tell a complete picture of who you are and how you use their site to whoever's reading them on the other side of the internet. Also, another problem with this is how long they last. Because cookies can last as you track across different web pages. So let's say, for example, you go shopping on Amazon and you add a bunch of items to your cart, but you're not done yet, so you leave it be. And you open a new tab and read a news article. However, that news article is on a bit of a sketchy website, and at first you might think that's okay, but because your cookies are still running from your Amazon shopping experience, that sketchy website all of a sudden has access to all of your shopping information, and who knows what they'll do with it. So now that we know a little bit more about cookies and how they collect data, let's talk about why these companies collect data. And the simple answer is to make money. And they're able to do that through targeted advertising. Targeted advertising takes that personal internet data and uses it to influence you by giving you ads for things that they think you might buy. And hey, that sounds okay, right? As a teenager, I'd much rather see an ad for something I'm interested in rather than a blanket ad of a drug designed for the elderly. However, the more you think about it, the more you realize that maybe that's not the case. Targeted advertising has severe consequences. For example, individuals may come across ads that are harmful to their health or financial well-being. And because they're designed to be so convincing, you buy them anyways. Another problem is the messaging that it sends to people. A lot of targeted ads perpetuate biases and stereotypes. And because they're so individualized, they don't go reported, meaning they go around the system designed to help prevent harmful ads from going out. Now, there's another group that loves to use targeted advertising, and that is politicians and political campaigns. These people use targeted ads to help influence elections and decisions. They're able to do that through influencing your specific opinions and targeting you with ads that will make you like them as a candidate. For example, if they discover that you have one specific value that really resonates with you, they will send you an ad showing about how that politician responds to that value. However, they don't tell you anything else about them. Maybe you don't like a single other thing about them, yet you vote for them because of these ads. In addition, political targeted advertising perpetuates political polarization, which is a huge epidemic in this country, as we continue to divide ourselves instead of separate, largely due to these ads that are designed to do so. In addition, because of the way they're designed and distributed on things such as social media, it becomes extremely difficult to decipher whether or not it is accurate information or misleading or even false information. These ads cause a huge problem to our elections and undermine democratic processes. And the reason they're able to do that is because we don't even know. Most people don't even know that their data is collected online, much less how it is actively influencing them. Now, in addition to these corporations getting our data, criminals love to take advantage of the abundance of internet data available. Every 22 seconds, a new victim of identity theft occurs somewhere in the world, and that number drops every year. Every time you use the internet, you risk that information being stolen by malicious individuals or organizations. Now, in addition to identity theft, a large problem has come with the amount of personal data available is cyberbullying and stalking. It's become a huge problem due to the fact that things like social media posts, location data, and contact information, which have enabled them to stay anonymous and be compelling while reaching out to people online. Because of this data, many are simply exposed to it, and especially the location data, where people are able to track people online and increases the risk of actual physical harm to people. If we don't do enough to protect this data online, this problem will continue to get worse in the future. So we have a lot of people who have access to our data, our companies, our politicians, criminals, and there's one other agency that has access to our data, and related to politicians is the government. The government uses our data mostly for surveillance. They track who we talk to, what websites we visit, what we're actually saying in our messages that we send on social media or websites or forums. And they use algorithms because we have so much data, one person simply cannot read through it. These algorithms have proven to be biased and sometimes flat out wrong, meaning there's unjustified police action aimed at individuals who've done nothing wrong, especially those in minority communities. Another problem with this is that there's no oversight. The government has free reign over what they want to do with our data, and unlike other government programs, there's nothing to tell them what's right and what's wrong. There's so much internet data available that they choose to use internet data. There are so many ways to do surveillance over the general population, yet because of how much data is available and how accurate that data is to represent who people actually are, they choose to do that method. Now, in conclusion, you have no privacy online. It's just a fact. Everything you do online is collected, analyzed, and then spread like wildfire to different agencies around the world. And once those agencies get a hold of your data, they use it against you, whether you realize it or not. In fact, even companies that you might trust to hold private and secure data are subject to data leaks. And that's been a huge problem recently. Companies like Equifax, Yahoo, Facebook, and Marriott, and many others in recent years have dealt with these data breaches. So I've talked for the last 13 or so minutes about the dangers of the internet, the dangers of internet data collection. But that doesn't mean you should stop using the internet. I personally believe that the internet is one of the greatest inventions ever for all the good it has done and opportunities it has provided us all. When we go online, that we need to protect our data. And when we do share information online, when we do use the internet, we need to understand how it could be collected and used against you. Luckily, there have been new laws designed to protect consumers. Around the world and here in California, websites are now required to allow you to decline non-essential cookies. Right there. Please do that. It allows you to protect yourself. Put up a small wall. Even if it's small, it makes a difference. You don't want your life story to be accessible to all of these companies around the world. It helps maintain some privacy. Now, these laws, in combination with future government regulation, will help stop the flow of data. Here we have the flow of data, and we can help stop it by making a big difference in the privacy of the lives of everyone. Now, if you're going to remember one thing from my talk, it's this. Be aware of what's going on when you go online. Most people aren't aware of what happens behind the presentation of a fancy website, but a lot goes on. If we all understand how this works, we can help limit the effects of things like targeted advertising, political manipulation, identity theft, stalking, cyberbullying, all of it. It is essential that we work hard together to help protect the privacy and information that we want to keep secure and safe. Thank you.